Oak Park Heights City Council to order. What did I say, still? Oak Park Heights, I quit. First order is pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty. First item is approval of the agenda. We are going to move consent agenda item D down to new business D. And then we're going to add under consent a proclamation of the City of Oak Park Heights in recognition of National Law Enforcement Week and Law Enforcement Memorial Day.
I also suggest that we move the summary of the closed session to later on in the agenda since our city attorney is not present. Or wait, we'll just give him 2 seconds to get up to the dais.
So we could just stall.
Yeah, stall. I'm stalling at the moment.
Yes. We're stalling patiently. Anything, well, let's do approval of the agenda.
Oh, so moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next item is summary of the closed session from our April 22nd, 2025 City Council meeting.
Mayor and Council, Deputy Mayor and Council, I can certainly start, and the City Attorney could fill in the blanks as he gathers himself.
That's fine. I can give a quick summary here. Council held a closed session at the end of its April 22nd, 2025 meeting to discuss the ongoing negotiations regarding a sale of a piece of real estate that is owned by the city. And then there's been some interest in buying it by one of the neighboring property owners. The particular property was identified on the record at the last city council meeting. And the summary of that was the council gave some direction to staff on some counteroffers and negotiation tactics to be used by staff, and staff has an ongoing negotiations relating to that parcel. And if and when the transaction is ever finalized, that will come back before you on your open agenda for approval.
Thank you. All right, then we'll move on to council and staff reports. Only thing I got, we have a Parks and Trails Commission meeting next Monday.
I attended the Middle St. Croix Watershed Management Organization meeting, and I don't know if I've notified all of you, but I'm the current treasurer for the group. So, yeah.
Wow.
Which means you should show up to the meetings. I filled in for her last month, and it became obvious that I couldn't sign the checks. Or
Haiti, Councilmember Lilligren.
I have nothing to report.
Okay, Councilmember Runk.
well, then I've got CVB tomorrow morning.
All righty. City staff. Our city administrator.
Yep, Deputy Mayor, Council, good evening. Just a quick update here on the Lookout Trail water main that we've been working on here diligently over the last several weeks. So the contractor, as you're aware, I emailed the council here recently, the contractor had completed the lining successfully. Unfortunately, they have got a camera stuck within the pipe now. So we are working through various options here of what makes sense, not only in the short term, but for the long term of the city. We have verbally discussed this issue, obviously, with the contractor. They verbally stated that they will cover the costs. We will ensure that does happen. We've engaged the city attorney's office related to this matter as well. So we've got those three options, as I said, that we're reviewing. They've just kind of come to light within the last day or so, reviewing those internally here. It's unfortunate, frustrating for us. It's been a complicated project that we've been dealing with, and this is certainly, a disappointment and a setback for us, but we're going to continue to work the problem here and, come to a resolution here. Certainly appreciate the patience too that our residents, the 9 residents that are on temporary water service right now, appreciate their patience, and very proud too of our staff as we work through this issue. This has been a challenging issue, remains challenging. We've got some work ahead of us, but we'll continue to keep you apprised of the matter.
Thank you.
And I might add, certainly the issuance of your emergency declaration in relation to that issue still is ongoing, and so that gives staff some leeway to try to do what's best for the city to try to rectify that issue and get it worked out.
Yeah, thanks. All right, police chief.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor and Council. This Thursday is the Law Enforcement Memorial Day. We have service at the Old Courthouse at noon, and of course everyone is invited to that, hosted by the Sheriff's Office. And we have also taken delivery of 2 additional new squad cars that have been delivered from the dealership. We just have to get them upfitted now over the next couple of months. And then our investigation unit has started their fraud presentations and awareness over at Botwell's. They've completed that one, and then they're going to hit Oak Park Senior Living and Oak Ridge. So that's it.
Thank you. And Assistant City Administrator.
Good evening, Deputy Mayor, members of the council. I have 3 items for you this evening. First, your Recycling Award winner, Lynn Lundquist at 15237 63rd Street North was your most recent Recycling Award winner. Secondly, this Saturday, we have Cleanup Day, 8 till noon in the Anderson Corporation Southwest parking lot. We're asking residents to enter off of Osgood Avenue. We will be accepting large, bulky items, yard waste, construction materials, general household waste. We will not be accepting electronics, appliances, mattresses, or box springs, and any hazardous waste. Many of those items could be brought to the Washington County collection that is happening at Lily Lake on May 31st. Information about that can be found on the Washington County Environmental website. My third item for you this evening is Party in the Park. Will be Thursday, June 5th, 4:30 to 6:30 at Brecky Park. And planning is underway, and it's looking like it's going to be a great event this year.
Great. All right. Thank you very much. Next item is visitor and public comment. This is an opportunity for the public to address the council with questions or concerns on issues not part of the regular agenda. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes in length. Mr. Plink?
Thank you. I don't know if I can make it in 3 minutes, but I'll try.
I got a button to turn this.
I wanted to update you a little bit of what's going on with the Better Together campaign to improve the fields at the high school. That Nancy Matchie and I were here together we showed you what we're doing out there and where we're at, and things are coming together. And then I do have a request of you at the end. I'm sure you probably all know, but we went and had an engineering plan put together by Larson Engineering. So they developed the plans. We went through with the Oak Park Heights with the school district with their conditional use permit to update everything. So it all conformed with what you'd have on fresh stuff on file, exactly what we're doing on the fields. I mean, they had one years ago, but we updated it. So that's been done. So that's where we're at on that. We're in the process of putting together the design of the fields and upgrading the handicapped accessibility of the fields. That's the big thing for it. I know there's some girls, sisters of some of the girls on my granddaughter's softball team. They're in wheelchairs. They can't, it's a long walk out there after I had my heart surgery, I had to walk out to the fields out there. It's a long walk, and trying to make everything handicapped accessible. The bleachers are not handicapped accessible. I couldn't do it, and I'm a pretty fit guy. So I think it's important we try to make, that's been our main goal of this whole project, is make everything handicapped accessible out there. So this is basically what we're doing. We're upgrading the fields. We fenced in the JV field, the middle field. I don't know if you guys know where that is, but we put an 8-foot high fence all the way around that. That's done. We've put together a plan now to put a new backstop in for the girls. That it's a net, and it's got posts and cables, and it hangs the netting on it, so you have no longer have to look through pipes. The regular backstop, the chain link fence, you can't see anything. So we're upgrading that, and they'll have a backstop that kind of looks like that. So that's the next one I'm getting at right now. We had an engineered plan put together for it. So I've been working with Julie, and we've got it ordered, and they're going to get everything all squared away. So the boys, now the next thing the handicapped accessible bleachers, the ramps to get up on the bleachers, plus it'll be elevated so you can see on the field with handicapped accessible spaces on the bleachers. So it'll make it a lot better for the people to use in the game. I mean, we're going to do that for the boys and the girls, and cement all the way around it to get it done. And then the last things we'll be doing is the boys' field next. So we're going to finish hopefully the girls' field right now, and then the boys' field next year. We'll finish the new backstop and the bleachers. But the reason I'm here is we fenced in the boys' field, and we went to get a fencing permit, and the fencing permit was $750. I called to verify that today, and I think that's personally kind of high, but I'm just here, people asking me all the time at the city Stillwater to forgive fees. If there's a way we could work out I don't mind getting the permits and all that stuff, but the fees by the time we do the fencing in the boys' field, fencing in the girls' field, backstops, the bleachers, we're into thousands of dollars in just fees, and we're trying to raise all this money by scrimping and scraping. And the foundation that gave us money want to see a buy-in from the community to help. It's not the foundation funding. We need to show them that I've been working with construction companies and cement companies, the engineering firms, Kraus Anderson, their project managers are volunteering his time to help us. So I'm here to ask Oak Park Heights if they would forget the fees for the fencing fees and the permitting fees. Like I said, we'll run the permits through the city and the engineers and the building inspector, and that's fine. But it starts costing us a lot of money in permits.
Okay.
So Mary said to come see you guys.
Yeah. Well, I think that's reasonable. I would like to see maybe have staff kind of look into this, and we can come back with something at another meeting to see where we're at. Because this is all privately run. The funds are all private.
I'm doing this as a volunteer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I did the ice arena originally, and I did the JC Fields originally, but this is for my grandchildren now, so it's.
No, I think
Through the foundation and stuff, nothing through, the school's not paying for any.
They're not helping much.
They're not
They
helping.
are helping a little bit.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
they did the conditional use permit and stuff.
Okay. Yeah,
So
like we
they're
just-
helping me, but I'm doing
Yeah.
this, basically the whole thing as a volunteer.
Yeah, let's figure something.
Yeah, I'd like to see what the total
something,
fees
yeah.
are.
We'll get something looked at.
Yep.
Come together.
Deputy Mayor and Council, we can have a work session discussion on this.
Okay. All right, Mike. Thank you for
Thank
what
you.
you do.
Thank you.
Okay, yep. All right.
It's going to be a nice asset for the kids of the valley here, so.
Yep.
Yeah, so all you got to do is change it to Oak Park Heights High School, and I think we're on.
I'll see you tomorrow.
You'll see him too.
Yeah, I'll see both of you.
See you, thanks. Any other comment? Things? Okay. We will move on then to consent agenda. We have bills and investments, checks number 71,708 to 71,764. Approval of the city council minutes from April 22nd, 2025. Approval for the license, approve a license for sale and storage of consumer fireworks at Walmart, and the proclamation for the National Law Enforcement Week and Law Enforcement Memorial Day.
I will move the consent agenda.
Second.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Liljegren?
Yes.
Councilmember Runk?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Doherty?
Yes. All right, we have no public hearings, we have no old business, so we'll go into new business. The first one is a solid waste recycling collection request for proposal.
Yes, Deputy Mayor, members of the council. It's time again to seek out proposals for refuse and recycling, hauling, collection, and disposal. So staff did prepare for you a draft request for proposals that we intend to ask your approval of tonight, subject to final review by our city attorney and city staff. And then we will distribute to contractors, post on the league marketplace, post on our website, et cetera, so we can get the word out. The contract with Tennis Sanitation does expire at the end of this year. In a work session, I believe it was last month, we did talk about a couple of options that we wanted to include in the request. One would be an extension beyond 3 years. Our last contract was 3 years, and it seemed like it came up really quick, and here we are again. So we did put an option in the request for proposal for an extension of 2 years, and we're asking for prices for that as well. And then we did include in there cleanup day pricing and the option to seek outside if the contractor that we end up with if we don't agree or like the prices that they're offering. So those are the two items that we did add to the request for proposal this time around. So staff is seeking feedback on the document that's enclosed in your packet, and then ultimately approval so that we can send it out.
So this, just so I'm correct, or understand correct, we don't have an extension for this current contract, so
The current contract
do we
does
have-
give us
it does
an
give us a-
option to extend
Okay,
it.
so if we do come back and we don't get some, we could work out a potential extension if need be?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Councilmember Liljegren, we waited just for you to be here to discuss this issue. So we're specifically looking for your feedback.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the staff to move forward.
Second.
All righty. Been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, item B, food truck event Cornerstone Chevrolet.
Yes, Mayor and Council, Deputy Mayor and Council, we did receive a application for a Food Truck Friday event for the summer at Cornerstone Chevrolet. And per the city ordinance, if a property owner wishes to have food trucks for more than just one day, it is something that does need to go through city council. So we are presenting the application to you this evening for review, discussion, and decision. Included in your packet, you'll see several conditions that were pulled from the city ordinance that would be standard conditions that would be, that we would ask, staff would ask you to impose if you do go ahead and approve the application.
Well, I think everybody knows how I feel about food trucks. So, I mean, I think the ordinance is kind of clear. We're okay with food trucks, you know, for a special one-day event type thing, but we have brick and mortar restaurants that are there, you know, 7 days a week, paying their property taxes and being part of the community. And I don't think, and right now, the way the economy is, they don't need other competition that rolls into town. So I would be against doing anything like this.
I think I have to agree, especially with right now with the proposal we have. It's every Friday, which I think if it was maybe once a month, I'd be maybe more willing to consider. But also, we don't know exactly what type of restaurant, you know, food trucks are going to be there. And I'm imagining, given what I've seen with the Minneapolis food truck scene, a lot of it might be tacos, which in this area, there's plenty of, it's a competitive marketplace. So that would be, it's hard to justify.
Deputy Mayor, members of the council, I did reach out to Cornerstone Chevrolet this afternoon and asked them to provide me with the names of the food trucks that they plan to have. They do plan to have just one food truck per Friday, and it's kind of a rotating schedule. I did not look into these, but 3 that they gave me were Roaming Firepot, Extreme Cuisine, and Grand Line Donbury. And I'm not sure what kind of cuisine they provide, but just so you know, that's.
Thank you.
I'm against it because I believe we discussed it thoroughly when we were discussing food trucks when we adopted this ordinance. And the fact that, yeah, I mean, you're bringing in competition and putting them against the taxpayer paying businesses in our community. And I mean, for it to be, I mean, I'm going to say this because we get, the next one is the same thing, except that it's on Thursday. So I mean, you know, the fact that it's weekly all summer long, no.
I think it also doesn't make sense in the location. If it was a brewery where there's no food service and it's connected, like you see in downtown Stillwater, that also makes it a different story. Here it's a car dealership and or Lowe's wanting to now serve food.
So if we just don't take, we need to take an action to deny it, or just not take an action?
I can make a motion to deny it.
Okay.
Just to be clear, yeah, I think preferable to have a motion to deny.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion to deny?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, well, then we move on to the food truck event at Lowe's Home Improvement.
Deputy Mayor, members of the council, this is very similar to the previous request you just heard. This would be a food truck event at Lowe's Home Improvement parking lot, and this would be every Thursday for the summer months, May through November. And this would be just one food truck, and it is a gluten-free sweet treats. It's Sugar Mama's Gluten-Free Sweet Treats, or GF Sweet Treats LLC, that would be in the parking lot. That is the application we received from Lowe's. Similar conditions were placed in your packet if you do choose to approve.
I'll make the motion this time to deny.
I'll second.
All right, it's been moved to deny the request. All those,
I'm sorry, Deputy Mayor, members of the food truck vendor is here if you wanted to ask any questions, or if not, just wanted to let you know she is here.
I don't think it's important. All those in favor of the denial?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion is denied. So now we will move back to approval of the maintenance agreement for HVAC Delta controls and programming. And then we received some correspondence from the city attorney about adding a condition that, to this approval, that the city attorney review, negotiate, and approve the contract term.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor, members of the council. I did send out an email mid-afternoon today, and I apologize that that wasn't sent sooner in relation to your packet review. But essentially, in reviewing the fine print in the very last page of the contractor's proposal, I did have a handful of concerns about that. And so the recommended action of approval is for the council to approve this contract, subject to additional review and negotiation of those, what might be termed boilerplate contract terms, by the city attorney and staff, and essentially authorizing city attorney and staff to finalize the contract with the changes to those terms.
Anybody want to make a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, any other council items or announcements?
Oh, wait, question. If we're going to discuss the high school proposal at a work session, should we schedule a work session
Oh, good
before
idea.
our next meeting? I'll make that motion that we started at 5:30 before the next meeting. I don't imagine it's going to take very long.
Is there any other work session items we need to?
Yeah, Deputy Mayor, Council, we'll kick it around with staff if there are. Would the council be open to 5 start time if we had
Maybe make a
additional
motion,
items?
just so we'll have a work session starting at 5 or 5:30.
I know that we were trying at some point here to have Washington County Commissioner Bethany Cox, I can see if she's available that day too before our next meeting, which is
That's the 27th.
27th.
All right.
So 5 or 5:30?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
There's a fire department meeting to go.